everyone. Hi. You guys are more awake than I am. Welcome to Backyard Theater Ensemble's staged reading of Catholic Schoolgirls. So thank you all for coming. We're really excited about performing in this space at Whitneyville Cultural Commons. This is our first show here. As you can see, the space is lovely. The people are super nice. We couldn't have asked for a better welcome. We will be coming back here for our next show, which will be a Sam Shepard play in the end of April. You'll find in your programs an insert. We haven't decided which Sam Shepard play we're doing yet, so you guys can vote. There's a box out in the lobby for you to possibly influence our decision if one of those interests you more than the other. About the space itself, there is a bathroom here. There are also bathrooms downstairs in the back. We would prefer an intermission that those of you who can go downstairs do, as our actresses may be using this one. But of course, if it's easier for you to get here, you can use that bathroom as well. A little bit about Backyard Theater Ensemble. We were founded in 2011 as a program for young adults who were serious about theater to pursue it and challenge themselves without pursuing it professionally, which is not the lowest stress thing to try and do with your life. But this is our 12th production. Everyone here is volunteer, primarily self-taught, all the lights, the sets, the actors, myself. We don't get paid, we just do it for the passion of the shows that we do and the love of acting. A little bit about this show. Catholic Schoolgirls is about 4 elementary school girls growing up from 1962 to 1970. The 4 actresses on stage play 4 of the girls and also 4 of the nuns that they teach. Each time you see a new nun, there's a little bit of a jump forward in time between the grades, and they will say what grade they are in. We really wanted to do this piece, one, for the challenge in the actresses of playing not only the 2 roles, but the girls growing up, but also the scripts. Because it is a staged reading and they have the scripts on stage, I personally really like the idea that it's a nod to the power that we have in creating theater. And one of the reasons Backyard loves doing it so much is that the ideas of imagination and the playfulness that we have as children lose a little bit as we grow up. Theater is really one of the places where we can get that back and provide shared emotional experiences and all feel a little younger and happier and also sometimes sadder as the girls demonstrate. But we hope you enjoy it half as much as we enjoyed putting it on. And without any further ado, Catholic Schoolgirls.
Well, I do, because I'm going to be a Day. Want to hear?
No.
Yes. The Ave Maria by Wanda Sluska Laskis Pelna Pans Toba.
Yeah, stupid name.
Lunchtime already?
Oh, that sound means the communists are setting a bomb over here. We all have to go home.
Oh, we just got here.
Oh, this is Cheese Whiz. What do you got? I'll trade you.
I got a meatball hero. I think this is my sister's lunch.
There is a bomb shelter in my apartment building. I gotta call my grandmother so she can come over on the bus. She lives in the Bronx. My grandfather isn't coming. He's already dead. You guys can come over and hide, but no boys allowed. We're supposed to hide here. Who says?
We have bunk beds. Maria Diana sleeps on top of me. Maria Rose sleeps on top of Maria Ann. Anthony sleeps on top of Salvador Jr. Cosmo sleeps on top of Joseph.
Fiery red stuff comes out of that bomb. If it falls on you, it can burn your skin right off. Oh, that won't help you. You need a raincoat. I'm kidding. This Chinese guy got hit by the bomb the last time it went off while he was riding his bicycle. He got smushed right into the ground. You can go over there and see him right now. He's lying there all flattened out with his bicycle. Is the guy dead? Yeah. Well, hey, wait for me.
I'll get the mother.
Oh, don't touch the snakes. They could come alive.
Boys and girls, my name is Sister Mary Agnes.
Sister, are you finished throwing up?
What was that, dear?
Oh, sister, I gotta ask you something about that bridesmaid.
Take your seats, first graders, and good morning. My name is Sister Mary Agnes.
Sister, there's a bomb coming over here. We're going to this girl's house. You want to come?
This is just a test. We hide here in the basement. Now, even though this is a test, for some reason, your principal, Sister Rose Gertrude, decided to pull the alarm on the very first day of school, in the very first hour of the new year, and thus pretend it is real. That way you'll know what to do in case we are attacked. I have been assigned to take you down to the basement.
Do you want me to get that sick, sister?
No, Sister Mary Claire has a very big heart and a very weak stomach. And she'll join us just as soon as she can. Put Jesus back on the spot, dear. Now, marchers.
Sister, how old are you?
66.
Wow. Hey, that's Do you know her?
Follow me.
Do you know her, Loretta Stokes?
Pleased to meet you. Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mary
Lucille.
Saints preserve us second graders. If you find an air raid drill so exhausting, God help you when the real thing comes along. You've been running up and down from the basement for a year and a half. It's about time you developed some stamina. Second graders, take a crack at that word. S-T-A-M-I-N-A, stamina. That's it. Boys and girls, it will take hard work to maintain the reputation that Catholic schools all over the country have earned. Please try to rise to the occasion or get out. Take your seats.
Ask me.
What are the 3 kinds of sin?
Number 1, original sin. That is what you're born into. Number 2, venial sin. That is when you tell a lie or do something that is not very nice to a stranger or your family. Number 3, mortal sin. That's when you kill someone or knife them.
Please stop cramming and put those Baltimore catechisms away. Donna Maria Gianetta, if you don't know it by now, you never will. McHugh, stand up. Who made you?
God made me.
And why did God make you?
God made me to feel this heart, and when I'm all done with that, to go back to his house in heaven.
Where did you get that answer?
I asked God, and he told me.
Don't you dare lie to me.
I'm not lying, sister.
Saints in heaven preserve us. Don't you dare stand in front of me and tell me that our Lord gave you that answer.
Well, Sister, that's what he said.
Well, that's the wrong answer. Are you trying to tell me that God gave you the wrong answer? Because God is never wrong. Miss McHugh, I don't know who you are talking to, but it is not God. You will go home tonight and you will memorize the Baltimore Catechism, or you will never receive the body and blood of Jesus Christ. Do you understand me?
Yes, sister.
Sit down. There will be no buts about it. Miss Luska, the 7 sacraments in order.
Baptism, penance, First Holy Communion.
Louder, the boys in the back can't hear you.
Confirmation, matrimony, holy orders, extreme unction.
Miss Luska, very good. Miss Luska, please thank your father for me and all the other sisters in the convent for his generous donation of roast beef for our Sunday dinner. There was not a line of grizzle in that roast. He is fondly remembered in our morning prayers.
Yes, sister.
Miss Luska is well on her way to making her first Holy Communion, which is more than I can say for a few select individuals in this classroom. Miss McHugh, your parents are going to be in for the shock of their lives when all the other boys and girls are marching down the aisle to receive their first Holy Communion, and you are not among them. Don't laugh, Mr. Crawford. A few of you are headed in the same direction. Now, let us stand and practice what we will say when we go into the confessional for our first confession. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. This is my first confession.
Okay, everybody, this is church. This is God's house. If you ever have to ask him a question, just come right in, kneel in one of these long chairs, and start talking. But not too loud. In here, you have to be real quiet. Otherwise, you will wake up the statues. And they are praying to Jesus. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. You have to bow your head when you hear the name Jesus, otherwise you will have a sin on your soul. Over here is the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She is Jesus' mother. You don't have to bow your head to hear her name, because she is not as important as Jesus. All of the girls sit on her side when you come to church. One time, I heard that Margaret Mary O'Donoghue, a 6th grader, was in Mass saying the rosary. Oh, that's the little necklace with the beads on it for praying. And she said she saw the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary start crying right in the middle of Mass. I believe her too. Sister says there are miracles or magic things that happen to people who are real good. Margaret Mary never gets in trouble. In class, she always has the right answer, so I guess she deserves to see a miracle. Well, someday I'm going to get a miracle too. Anyway, the boys sit on the other side of the church. That's the one with the statue of St. Joseph. He is Jesus' father. Hey, you forgot to bow your heads. Don't do that. Otherwise, you will have a spot on your soul, and you'll have to go straight to hell. Oh, in hell, it is real hot, and you sweat a lot, and little devils come and bite you all over. But if you are real good, you get to go to heaven. In heaven, there's a big refrigerator full of stuff to eat. M&M's, ice cream, all the chocolate-covered donuts, anything you want, and it never runs out. But the best part about heaven is you get to meet anyone you want. Let's say I want to meet Joan of Arc. No, Cleopatra. I would go to one of the saints, and he would give me a permission slip, and I would and then I would bring it to Jesus. You did it with all your heads. Okay, I warned you. But then I would fly across heaven, because when you get in, they give you wings, and have a chat with Cleopatra. The only thing is, I hope everyone I like gets into heaven, otherwise I would never see them again. Jewish people can't even go to heaven. So if any of you are Jewish, I would change it to Catholic right now, otherwise you have to go straight to hell. Jewish people can't even go to church. If I saw a Jewish person in church, I would stand up and say, "There is a Jewish person in church church. And then the priest would stop the mass until he left. One time I heard this story, and I know it's true, that a Jewish person went to church for 2 weeks disguised as a Catholic. He got communion every day, except he took it out of his mouth so it wouldn't melt, and he put it in his kitchen cupboard so it would be safe. Then, when he had enough, about 13 or so, he took him, he put him in his frying pan, and he fried him up, and blood started coming from the ceiling, and it was Jesus' blood. You see that crucifix right there? That is how Jesus died. The Jewish people put him up there, and they killed him. If a Jewish person came in here right now, that statue would turn bloody, and Jesus would start hurting from the nails. Well, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to tell you a few important things. I hope I haven't hurt anyone's feelings, but it's just how it is. Oh, one more thing. If you ever have to ask Jesus a question, make sure you write down the answer real fast so you don't mess it up. Because if you mess up an answer from him, he gets you in real big trouble.
I'm starving. I can't wait to get a hold of that host. It's disgusting. And now you can't receive. You believe anything. You thought about it, so that's a sin too. You better get off this line or you will have mortal sin. I don't care. I decided not to be a nun. You can change your mind when you get to high school, and then what would happen? Besides, I'm telling. No, you're not. Hey, look, it's your father. He's trying to take her pictures. Better smile.
Oh, Maria, look at Wanda's dress. It's really pretty. It's all sparkly.
I had to wear my sister's old dress. Look, it's ripped right here. My mother didn't even have time to sew it.
Oh, I have on my sister's too. My grandmother couldn't come today, but she gave me this little white rosary.
My aunt got me these new shoes. Oh, I love Dorothy. I have a white pocketbook with a silver dollar from my uncle in it.
My father gave me this new watch. He almost had to go to work, but he's here. He's right there. Hi, Daddy! He sees me. Hey, Father Moynihan is 4 away. 4 away. 4 away. 3 away. 3 away. 2 away. 2 away. 2 away. 2 away. 1 away.
I think I bit the host.
Maybe you get off the arm of the baby.
The arm of baby Jesus in my stomach? Oh no.
It could be a leg.
Elvis, I'm sick. Jesus is dying inside of me. I can feel it.
Your father's getting to me with that camera. Go stand somewhere else. Come on, sister's calling our row.
Please, Wanda, don't tell.
Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. All right, class. You all looked beautiful on Saturday. That was one of God's small miracles. I am happy to see that you have the Spirit of the Holy Ghost inside of you now. I hope to see a marked improvement in your conduct from this day forward. Don't disappoint me or the Sacred Heart of Jesus, or you will pay the consequences. Now, I would like you all to draw something to decorate the classroom for Thanksgiving. I will take 10 minutes from my valuable class time. These Halloween decorations are a little passé. Miss Russo, go around with the mission box. It is obvious that you don't suffer for lack of food. I will be watching to see who puts how much in. Mr. Vaccaro, squeeze that pocket. I have eyes in the back of my head, or didn't you know that?
They were put there by Jesus Christ himself. Now, perhaps some of my students have reflected over the weekend and have come up with some things that they are thankful for this year. And I am sure they would like to share those thoughts with Sister Mary Lucille and the rest of the class. Yes, Miss Luska, why don't you start? Oh, 1 minute. This is a disgrace. This is what the second grade in Yonkers, New York has to offer you today. Sluska, go on.
I am thankful that we have made our first Holy Communion this year and that we have a Catholic president.
An Irish Catholic president.
Yes, sister?
Very nice, Miss Sluska. Oh, please remind your father that cameras and flashers do not belong in church and do not like distractions during the consecration. And thank him for that lovely leg of lamb.
Yes, sister.
Saints preserve us, Maria Teresa Russo. Take that thumb out of your mouth in Sister Mary Lucille's classroom. When your parents have $1,000 worth of orthodontist bills to pay, I will be happy to tell them that you sat in my classroom like a bump on a log sucking your thumb. Your parents can't afford to take care of the 9 children they have now. What kind of selfish daughter would expect them to pay for her bad habits in their later years? And tell your mother to scrub you down. You look like a stray cat. McHugh, next. Keep that thumb out of your mouth. Sit on your hands if you cannot control yourself.
Was Jesus a Jewish person? Some friends I know said that our God, Jesus, is a Jew.
In the 2 years that you have been attending St. George's School, has there been any mention of Jesus other than as a Catholic?
No, sister, but I thought that...
You are not paid to think. Boys and girls, there is one thing, and only one thing to know about the Jews. They killed Jesus. And that is the beginning and the end of it.
I am thankful...
Hold on there, Miss Tish. Is that Crayola on your desk? We use Crayola crayons in this classroom, don't we, class?
Yes, sister.
These are my grandmother's. She used to be an artist, and she said if I was real careful, I could bring them into school.
Class, Miss McHugh's grandmother is an artist.
I know, sister.
No, she was.
Class is not impressed. Your grandmother was an artist? Who cares? No one told you to take that seat, young lady. I would like to know, as I am sure the whole class would, what you are thankful for this year.
I can't really be thankful for anything because all the good things always turn bad.
Why do they turn bad?
Well, sister, a lot of the times you make them turn bad.
Come here, Miss McHugh. I joined the convent at 13 years of age in the tradition of my country and my family. And I began teaching when I was 16. I am now 47 years old. How many years have I been teaching, class?
31.
Right on the button. God willing, I will be here for another 31 years, teaching long after you have gone. One day you will return and you will thank Sister for all that she has done. Boys and girls, the sisters are not here to be popular. We are here to teach you and to discipline you in spite of your bold and brazen ways. Miss McHugh, I have a personal message from me to you. In all my years of teaching, I have never met a spirit that I couldn't break. Sometimes it takes one lesson, and sometimes it takes 100. God give me strength. Am I going to get any teaching done today?
Boys and girls, this is your principal, Sister Rose Gertrude. I have a serious announcement to make, and I hope you will cooperate by putting away what you're doing and listening carefully.
Fold your hands on top of your desks.
Our president, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, was shot and killed by an assassin in Dallas, Texas today. 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy as he was riding in a motorcade through downtown Dallas. President Kennedy was administered last rites, and Vice President Lyndon Baines Johnson has been sworn in as the 36th president.
Show me again. How do they do it, Colleen?
You're so dumb. Just copy me like this.
I'm not done, Colleen. We're doing it right now.
Just hold your hands out and shake. It's like who invited you, Miss Know-It-all? You stay out of here, Wanda.
Colleen, I take dance classes.
Maria, you're a little turncoat. Don't you dare listen to her, or I am not your friend.
I'll show you. I didn't get the twist of a book, Colleen.
So what? Look, if you think that you're so good, why don't you just get up on that desk and show the whole class?
Yeah, get up on the desk.
On the desk. On the desk.
Okay, you guys. Watch Maria Teresa.
Maria, if you look at her, I'll never speak to you again.
I'm sorry, Colleen, but I got to. Hey, you're pretty good. Am I doing it right? It feels like it.
What are you doing by my desk?
I left my book up here, Sister Mary Thomasina.
Are you in the habit of dropping things on my desk? Sit down. No, Wanda, don't you sit down just yet. I want you to go on with what you were doing. Go on. Go ahead.
Just twist, sister.
Well, let's see it.
She does it good, sister.
So I see.
Better than you.
Colleen, if you think this is so funny, you may join her. No, I didn't think so. Now, girls, I don't think it is necessary to be making a spectacle of yourselves, especially in front of the boys. Do you, Wanda?
Sister.
Wanda, sit down. There is a sin called the sin of pride. It is when we call attention to ourselves or we boast about our talents that we are guilty of this sin. Now, Wanda, it is obvious that you are guilty of this vice and that you need to develop a little more humility. Until I see examples of humility accumulating in your character, I am going to have to strip you of your responsibility as 4th grade classroom monitor. Hand over your little book, please. Colleen, you need help to develop a little more responsibility. Let's see how you do.
Tell my parents, sister.
I see no need to tell your parents, at least not at this point. You may be seated.
Rita, aren't you going to congratulate me?
I'm sorry, Wanda.
Oh, you're just a sore loser.
All right, class, we have something to discuss. Now, as you all know, the Catholic Church is going through a fiscal crisis. If we cannot raise enough money this year to meet the cost of running the school, the government will come in here and will be ordered to take down our crosses and our statues, and we would not have any more religion class, and we could not even mention God's name. We would be just like public school. For the past 5 years, my class has led in all areas of financial collection. Now, Mr. McCarthy, Kevin's father, who is in the Knights of Columbus, has come up with an idea to raise money. The Knights of Columbus will be sponsoring a talent show. First prize will be $25. The boys have already come up with an idea, and I think the girls could contribute some of their talents instead of wasting them during Sister's valuable classroom time.
What are the boys doing, sister?
The boys are going to do the Beatles, with the wigs and everything. Great, stop tapping on that desk. I don't think we need a Ringo just yet.
Oh, I've come up with an idea, sister. Do you think that we could have a few minutes to discuss it? Just us girls in private?
That's the spirit, Colleen. But just a few minutes. The boys and the rest of the girls can use this time to clean out your desks. Frank, go around with the waste pail.
Listen, I got a great idea. Why don't we do Diana
why don't we all do Nancy Sinatra? That way we can all wear white go-go boots. Besides, there are only 3 Supremes and there are 4 of us.
You just go ahead and do Nancy Sinatra all by yourself. I don't want you in my act, got it? I was trying to be different. Why don't you give it up, Polak? Well, it's not really a bad idea. If we do the Supremes, we have to paint our faces black.
What if besides the boys wouldn't recognize us?
Look, who has go-go boots anyway,
I
huh?
do.
Sure, only child Polak gets everything she wants. Not my mother would get them for me.
I'm sure. And we would need them. Sorry, Wanda. Colleen, who's gonna play Diana? I volunteered.
No, I get to play Diana. It was my idea. I get to decide. Colleen, you can't play Diana.
I agree.
Why?
Because you are Irish and most of them look like I Love Lucy and have red hair. Everyone knows Lucy can't sing and you can't either.
What? Maria does sing best. She can't dance.
I can help her. I know tap, almost. Maria, we'll turn you into Diana. Let me see your skin.
Wanda, I'll get Maria Rose to do the wash for me. She owes me. I'll be able to practice every day. I can't wait till my father sees me on that stage.
Let's take a vote. All in favor for Maria to play Diana, raise your hand. Majority rules! No Maria play Diana! We will have a tryout, and if I lose, which I won't, then I get to stand in front. Got it? Yeah.
Let's go over to my house after school to rehearse.
We'll go up to my room after school.
I have a TV in my room, and afterwards we can watch Dark Shadows.
You're showing off again. I'll get sister, and she'll make you stop. I've got her wrapped around my little finger, and don't you forget it. She'll kick you right out of that talent show.
Tell her, I dare you.
Sister, I think we have something to discuss.
My father comes home every night after work, and before he even gets to take off his gray hat with the skinny feather, he drops a bag of leaky, smelly meat on the table for my mother. She waits to see if she should kiss him or not. If it's just hamburger, she grunts. If it's liver, she practically goes to Mars. I hate liver. I hate everything all the time, even things I like. My ballet lessons, my pedal pushers, my dolls on the shelf, and I hate my smartness. You know why? Because they were given to me. I have been working on something that's mine. I have been for a long time. After school, I go home and I do my homework right away so I can go down to my father's store. He's not really a bad man, I just don't like him or something. When he's in the back room, sawing the legs off those big bodies of meat, I go and practice my dancing. I take pans and crush them onto my shoes. I move a little pile of sawdust into the center of the floor, and I begin to dance. Not like Nancy Sinatra or Diana. Oh no, I am so much better than that. As I'm dancing, my mind just lets go, and all these little movies get inside my head. My favorite, I'm on the Ed Sullivan Show. Thank you, Eddie. I'm singing a song. Fake snow is falling all around me. I have on a sexy dress. It's sort of a sad song, and I look so incredibly beautiful that people in the audience are starting to cry. Well, I break out into tap dance just to make them feel better. Later on, Ed Sullivan takes me backstage to the Beatles' dressing room, and Paul asks me to marry him. But I tell him I have to wait a couple of months because I have a career to think about. I become an international superstar. I go and live on top of a penthouse apartment right on top of Radio City Music Hall. So for now, I don't mind rehearsing in my father's store. He stays out of my way. I don't care if my hands and feet stick out a little too much. That can be fixed. I don't mind being Nancy Sinatra. I kind of like these go-go boots anyway. I made my mother buy them for me at S. Klein's. So here is Dawn Gabor, who used to be Wanda Sluska, coming to you live right after the 8th grade to sing and dance just because she feels like it. So you can get those TV sets warmed up, because even if it is a sin, I don't care. I'm gonna be famous. Wait, watch for me, okay? I am happy to present Sister Mary Thomasina's 4th grade class doing their rendition of Stop in the Name of Love.
The Knights of Columbus raised $256.75 in the little beer garden after the talent show. We are now in the 60th percentile. Girls, get rid of these boas. I think there's a good chance with our continued efforts that our school will be saved. St. George's, St. George's, St. George's. Wanda. Now, will you take out your math textbooks, please? Wanda, would you pass these papers out so we may get started?
Wanda, psst. What's the answer to 7 times 7?
No talking, boys and girls. Maria Teresa, are you having some sort of problem?
Sister, I was just wondering, are we having a test?
This is not a test. This is your math homework for tonight. I would like it done neatly and signed by both your parents. And I would appreciate it, Maria Teresa, if you did not speak out in class. I would like to see your homework. Get it out quietly. Wanda! Please stop clomping around the classroom like an elephant. Take off those go-go boots. Colleen, your homework, please. I don't believe I see a signature here. This homework is not signed.
I told my parents to sign it, sister. It's just that, well, my dog had a heart attack, and we had to take him to the hospital. So I guess they just forgot.
Well, I want you to do it over 25 times. And I want your parents to sign each copy. And I don't want to see such negligence again in the future. I do, however, admire your imagination. Wanda, your homework, please. Nice and neat and tidy. I wish all my students were as conscientious as you. 100%, Wanda. What's this? Ballpoint pen? We use Schaefer fountain pens in the 4th grade. I don't like sneaks, Wanda. That will cost you. Let's see, 85%. That's fair.
But sister, what about the honor roll?
Maria Teresa, your homework, please.
I had to erase a little, sister.
This is very messy. I know I said you could not erase completely to make a new copy. I know I did say this in front of the entire class. I will no longer accept papers in this condition in the future. This is not public school, boys and girls. You will not get away with this sort of thing here. If you want to go to public school, take your books and your messy papers and go down the street to public school. No? Then do things the way I want them done. Don't want to see dog-eared pages, no erasures. And if you must tear paper out of your notebook, please be sure to trim the edges before you come to class. Is this your paper airplane, Bernard? Oh, it is? Kindly join it in the wastebasket. Now, I would like to have a little math quiz. 2 volunteers come up to the front of the classroom. I will ask the times tables. The winner will be allowed to skip the math homework tonight and choose a holy card from Sister's own personal deck. Who would like to start? Let's get some new hands for a change. Oh, Colleen, what a pleasant surprise. Come on up front. Maria Teresa, how about you? I'm sure since you have such a difficult time with math that you may want to have some fun with it. Come on, Spitzball.
Yes, sister.
We will start with some easy ones. Maria Teresa, 5 times 5.
25.
6 times 5. 30. 4 times 4. 4 times 4.
I thought you would call us. 4 times 4 equals 16.
Please do not repeat the question, Maria Teresa.
Helps me to repeat the question.
Maria Teresa, we have been doing the times tables since the beginning of this year. I think you have had sufficient time to get them into your mind. Do you agree?
Yes, sister.
9 times 6. 54. 8 times 8.
64.
Maria Teresa, did Colleen whisper the answer to you? Did I hear an answer whispered? I do not like that one bit. If you do not know an answer, perhaps you should go stand in front of the blackboard and review your 8 times tables. Turn around and put your nose against the board. The rest of the class is dismissed for lunch. Timothy, did I just see you blow a bubble? Take that gum out of your mouth, put it on the end of your nose for the rest of the day. And Colleen, I'd like to talk to you privately.
Late at night, when I'm lying in my bed, I ask myself some math questions, and I get all the answers right. Then I wake up and go to school, and all the way there, and all the way through religion class, and I'm lying to go to the lavatory. The answers are still in my head, which is right before math class. They've fallen out of my brain when I wasn't thinking to hold them in. I'm not stupid, even though my parents and sister think so. We have math first thing, maybe they wouldn't go away. Sometimes, my father helps me with my math homework. I don't want him to because if I give the wrong answer, he gets mad and he hits me. Usually my mother makes him stop, but sometimes she's giving one of the babies a bath and she doesn't hear me. I think about math almost every single night. I can't help it. It makes me feel weird. So usually I plan for a good, happy dream. So then when I do fall asleep, it's not a scary one. My favorite dream right now is that I live with someone else's family. Like, I live with Donna Reed. And I'm the only child, except that I have an older brother and sister. Donna Reed sends me to a school where there's no math or spelling. When I come home, my older brother takes me for a ride to the candy store in his yellow convertible. I make him put the top down, and I sit in the back. And my older sister combs my hair gently for a whole hour and lets me play with her makeup. Then we all get dressed up for dinner, and we go downstairs. Donna Reed always cooks something real good for dinner. Stuff like steak or turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. She never cooks eggplant parmesan or tuna casserole. Dessert is always on the table, so right when you finish your dinner, you can just grab your dessert and eat it. Usually, it's mighty fine chocolate pudding, because Donna Reed knows that's my favorite. When the family is finished, we are excused from the table, and we go into the living room, and everyone gathers around while I play the piano. And my father, Mr. Reed, picks me up and carries me up the stairs to my room and tucks me into my very own canopy bed. He puts my stuffed animals around my bed so I will be safe. And he leaves my Raggedy Ann and Annie nightlight on so I won't be scared. Donna Reed kisses me on the forehead, and she tells me what a wonderful and beautiful daughter I am, and how glad she is that she adopted me, and I fall asleep. Sometimes, I pray to Jesus about something. Jesus tells me not to think that my parents don't love me. He tells me that they probably won't get mad if I bring home another bad mark in math and spelling. So I believe him, but something always happens when I get home anyway.
Maria, she's gone. Maria, she went back to the common to have lunch. Come on.
Elizabeth, do you think it is a sin to pray to Jesus and ask him to kill certain people in a car crash?
Yes, I think so. But I think you can pray and ask him to send them to a hospital for a little while. I don't know that.
Okay, repeat after me. Dear Jesus.
Maria Teresa, this is your prayer. I don't have to say it.
But if two people say it, he's going to listen harder, maybe, please.
Dear Jesus,
Please send Sister Mary Thomasina
please send Sister Mary Thomasina
and my whole family, especially my father,
and my whole family, especially my father,
to St. Bernadette's Hospital.
to St. Bernadette's Hospital. Amen.
I didn't say amen yet. At least until I graduate from 8th grade. Thank you very much. Signed, Maria Teresa Russo, 4th grade, St. George's School, Yonkers, New York. Amen.
At least until I graduate 8th grade. Thank you very much, Maria Teresa. Elizabeth, 4th grade, St. George's School. Amen.
You have to say your last name. McHugh, Elizabeth McHugh. Okay, great. Elizabeth, you're my very best friend. Let's go eat.
Okay, wait for me outside. I forgot my Chinese jump rope.
Okay, hurry.
Jesus, this is Elizabeth. Elizabeth McHugh, 4th grade, St. George's School. Please forget everything I just said about the hospital and everything. I was only kidding. And I also had my fingers crossed in case you didn't see that. Please don't forget to take my name off that list. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I haven't been talking much lately. Some of us girls have a question. We were wondering, Are you Jewish? Okay, thank you. Get back to me as soon as you can. I love you, Elizabeth.
Nothing away before someone sees it. Boys or something.
Oh, Wanda, my brothers see these all the time. No big deal about it.
Really? I think my father thinks about it.
Well, he's got to know.
Colleen, how come Leah's not in school today?
Mr. Russo is in jail. What? It's true, I swear. My mother told me. Somebody pushed him out of line in the A&P and he smacked him on the head with a can of grapefruit juice. Yeah, the cops came and everything. The whole family went to pick him up this morning. My mother told me that I can't go to Maria's house anymore, but I think I can still talk to her in school. Hey, you guys. Thanks for calling me back last night, Elizabeth.
I'm sorry, my house was nuts last night. But I've got great news. My grandmother is coming to live with us next week.
Great. Is everyone excited?
No, no one wants her but me. She's going to be in my room. Mary Pat is moving into the living room. I can't wait.
Good luck.
Why?
Watch out, Colleen's turning green.
Why? What's the matter?
Just that when my grandmother moved in, everything got creepy. She was always complaining. She even had her own room. I wouldn't sleep with her.
Why not?
Because she could just die right there while I was sleeping.
What grandmother wouldn't die on me, Colleen?
It was just a little game, but we didn't know all the rules. He only did it halfway, yet I got pregnant. God help me if my mama finds out who I played with.
See that? Nightmare in the classroom. They stripped me naked just for kicks while so many hands and lips did dirty things to me. Oh, Colleen, where did you get this?
From my babysitting house. They have Playboy, too. And she, the lady, has those little birth control pills.
She's not a Catholic.
No kidding. Could I see that? Your grandmother will show you. Wanda, look at this.
How did they fit together like that?
Wait a minute. Hey, my grandmother may be coming to live with us, but we're still best friends, I swear. She's sick and she can't move around too much for a while. So after school, I may have to go home to see her, but that's it.
What about basketball?
Oh, I can still do it. Come on, I'm not a flat lever. Page 45. A sexy word quiz. A fun fill-in puzzle for women who know the language of love. 14 down. 69. Wanda, what does 69 mean? I heard you might know.
Lost.
I happen to know what it means. It means the guy's thing is 6 inches long, and in 9 months you have a baby. Or that he sticks it in you, and in 9 months you have a 6-inch baby.
That answer is 20 letters.
You're right.
After school, we'll go to Yonkers Public Library and look it up.
Yeah, Wanda, you're not invited.
Good afternoon, boys and girls.
Good afternoon, Sister Mary Germain.
You may all be seated. Now, Colleen has a little announcement to make. Yes, Wanda.
Sister, I have an announcement to make about your copycat.
We'll hear about that tomorrow. Thank you, Wanda. Boys, file quietly back one by one and remove your sneakers and things from the cloakroom for physical fitness. Row 1, Francis, you may start. Go on, Colleen.
Saturday afternoon at 1:30, Father Moynihan is going to unlock St. Stephen's Auditorium, and all the girls are going to meet for the first round of basketball tryouts. Sister Mary Redemptor will show us what we need to know, but I happen to know a few secret plays. Pick and roll and split the post, which I can show a couple of the girls. My brothers taught them to me. Boys basketball is different from girls basketball, but we can still use these plays because they don't look too rough, even though they really are. My brother, TJ,
Colleen.
Thomas James, says it's not the strength, it's the skill. And he would know because he plays for Iowa College. Now, don't forget sneakers so you won't scratch the gym floor. Oh, and bring some shorts so you can jump real high and still be modest. Oh, and no chewing gum.
Colleen, is there something the matter?
Yes, sister. Wanda's trying to make me laugh.
I was not.
Was too, was not.
Wanda, cut it out, please. Try to practice some self-control. Russell, check that fly!
Did you see anything? I think I saw a little pink.
Chewing gum because it could go right down your throat and strangle you. Oh, and this year we're getting new uniforms, even better than the cheerleaders.
Doubt it.
Fact of life.
Colleen, wrap it up, please.
Yes, sister. And it's good for school spirit, and the church gets to make a lot of money because it costs 50 cents a head to get in.
Who's gonna pay to see a bunch of girls, huh?
Oh, they'll be busting down the doors when we start winning.
That's right. That's all for today, sister.
That was very nice public speaking, Colleen. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, boys, are you all packed up? Good. File down to the gym. I don't want to hear a single sound on that line. Parents, take names. Now, who are the two girls who will report to us today? Now, last week we were discussing puberty during health class. Acne, fried foods, regular bathing,
Yeah, until Richard Krause busted in the door about knocking.
deodorants, etc. Now, today, girls, the assignment was to consult the little pictorial lives of the saints and report back to the class on what you found particularly relevant under the title Saint So-and-so, Virgin, Martyr. Then right after these two reports, we will have another brief discussion on personal hygiene. Which one of you would like to start?
January 21st, St. Agnes, Virgin, Martyr.
Sister Agnes's patron saint. Yes, Wanda, go on.
Brown nose.
St. Agnes, Virgin, Martyr, was 12 years old when she was led to the altar and was commanded to offer incense, which was part of the rules in Rome at the time. She didn't want to offer incense because it was against her religion. So instead, she raised her hands to Jesus and made the sign of the cross. The king got really mad when he saw...
Dogs get mad. People get angry.
Yes, sister. The king got really angry when he saw this, and he had her tied up, but the bandages would not stay on, and so he had made her take off all her clothes and stand in front of the pagan crowd. But nobody could see her because Jesus performed a miracle and made a blinding light appear, so everyone had to look away. One person, a guy, did not turn away because she wanted to see St. Agnes naked. But the light made him blind, and he had to be carried away. The king was really mad, angry now, and he had a death sentence passed, and he had St. Agnes's head chopped off in one blow. Just before she died, she managed to say, "Christ is my spouse. He chose me first, and his will be done." After she died, the angels came to get her body and took her straight to heaven.
Now, Wanda, in your own words, can you tell the class what the story means to you?
Well, the saint had made up her mind that she wanted to follow Jesus, and nothing was going to tempt her.
The saint also represents youth. After all, she was only 12 years old. It illustrates how hard you must try to keep your innocence. Doesn't it, class?
Yes, sister.
Also, the part of the story we haven't discussed was when the young man was blinded as he tried to gaze at the body of the young saint. Now, girls, God protected St. Agnes from this man, and even though God is all-knowing, he can't be in all places and all times. You must have some responsibility for yourselves. Now, I have something for you, girls. Wanda, please come up to my desk and pass these out. Girls, these are some sanitary napkin kits for you to take. They were donated by Mr. Lorenzo. He has asked me to remind you to tell your parents that all members of our parish are eligible for a 10% discount. So please patronize the store. Take these home and show them to your mothers. They will explain.
Oh, my mother explained it already.
Please do not be gazing at those things in my classroom. There is a proper place and time for everything. Girls, all eyes are up here. You're at the age where you're beginning to provoke the boys. I don't want to see legs crossed in my classroom, and I don't want to see uniform skirts that are shorter than regulation length. As a matter of fact, let me check them now. When was the last time you took an iron to that skirt? That skirt is too short, Colleen. Take it down by 2 inches tomorrow. Wanda? Perfect.
I iron my own uniform blouses.
All right, back to your seats. Yes, Wanda?
Sister, I was just wondering, what's this for?
Oh,
Wanda,
Mother.
ask your mother. Colleen, let's hear from you. Nice and loud and clear.
I have St. Agatha, Virgin Martyr, February 5th. She was from Sicily,
Which is in Italy.
and she was going to be Jesus' spouse too. A judge sent for her when he heard how pretty and how rich she was. So she went because he made it into a law. But she asked Jesus to help her not be harmed by him. When she got there, she was thrown in jail because she refused to fall into sin with him. She was locked into a cell until she could change her mind. But she didn't change her mind, so the judge got real angry and started to torture her. The next thing he did was to strip off her clothes and send her to a place where the sheep were. Then he took one of her breasts and cut it off. And then Jesus heard her scream and sent one of the apostles to put it back on. And then Jesus accepted her prayer of wanting to join him in heaven, so he ended her life and he took her to heaven. I'm sorry.
Sorry or not, Colleen, I have a few important things to say to you. The life of a saint is a very important and holy thing, and I will not have that life mocked at in my classroom. It is sacrilegious and perhaps even a sin. I will check into that. Second, Colleen, and I want all the girls to listen closely to this because it concerns some of you. I've been keeping an eye on you, and I'm sorry to say that you are going right down the drain.
Sister, I am not.
You might be dragging some of your friends down with you. There's a type of girl that gets into trouble, that gets a bad reputation. Colleen, stand over by the blackboard. Face us. Now, girls, looking at Colleen, you may not be able to tell from her outward appearance that her soul has turned black and shriveled up, smaller and smaller, so that it has almost entirely disappeared.
I disagree.
And who are you to disagree, Elizabeth? What kind of girl might choose Colleen for a friend, or even an acquaintance? I would venture to guess and say someone who has a soul in the same sad condition.
You can't see Colleen's soul.
Elizabeth, take yourself for a little walk down to the principal's office.
What should I say to her?
Tell her you are down in the word of Sister Mary Germain and the Catholic Church.
Yes, sister.
Or one for their side.
Enough said. You can use the rest of the time to clean your desks and get your own gear ready for physical fitness. Monica, get the wastebasket.
I used to go out with this guy, Ricky. I liked him a lot for a while. We used to hang out at Cross County Shopping Center on Saturdays. We'd get red pistachio nuts and wait till our hands got all red and sweaty. And then we'd go upstairs on the escalator to the wedding shop and we'd smear our hands all over the white dresses. It looked like the Bride of Frankenstein, I swear. One time, me and Ricky went to the movies on a Friday night. We saw Born Free. It was okay for a while, but then towards the end it got bad. The girl lion gets killed, and it's really sad. I started to cry even. Oh, but I didn't let that Ricky see. I would never let a boy see me cry. The day we broke up, me and Ricky were sitting in the back of his father's car in the garage. He gave me his ID bracelet. Kenny tried to put his hand somewhere. I ran right out of that garage, but I kept the bracelet just for spite. I told my mother about it. Me and my mother were just like this. She told me that I did the right thing. And then she started giving me a speech about sex stuff. She told me about the change and how it's all part of becoming a woman. She told me that the day that I got it would be such a happy day. And we'd go out to lunch and have a party all day long, just me and her. I don't want to become a woman. I like myself the way I am. My chest is growing and I think there's hair coming out of down there. Anyway, Sister told everyone to finish up at their desks and pack up. I felt something. I tried to close my legs so it would stop. I squeezed my stomach in real hard, but it just kept leaking. I didn't know the whole thing was supposed to be so messy. I didn't want to move. I took my sweater off and I wrapped it around me. I knew what it was. After Monica put the wastebasket back, Sister Mary Germain told me to take my seat. But before I could even move, she asked me about my sweater. She thought I was trying to show off with sex or something, I guess. She said, "Take that sweater off, it's 70 degrees in this classroom." But my stomach hurts and it makes me feel better. I'll tell you one more time, take it off. The boys began to come into the classroom. She didn't care, she let them. I couldn't look at her. She hit me. I put my hands to my face and she ripped the sweater off, digging her nails into my side. I just stood there against the blackboard. Everyone was looking at me. And then she made an announcement in front of the whole class that in all her years of teaching, she had never come across someone with such a lack of concern for their personal hygiene. She said this right in front of the boys. I thought I was going to die. A couple drops of blood down on the floor. She made one of the boys go down to the janitor's closet and get a mop. And the nurse came in and took me out of class. I never want to go back there again. She's trying to make me feel guilty. Well, I do feel guilty. I'm a jerk. I wish I was dead and I never had to see you or anyone else ever again. I wish I had never become a woman. I'm no good at it. Is that what you want to hear, sister? Okay, fine. I'm no good at it.
Elizabeth, hi. I missed you so much. How was your summer?
It was great, except my grandmother had another heart attack.
Oh no.
She's so better now. Hey, did you see those guys walk on the moon?
Nah, I fell asleep.
It was neat. I was scared for a second, you know? Maria, they made up that slogan of one giant step months before. Rip off. Hey, you guys.
Got your postcard. Wish you were here.
I wanted to bring back an alligator pocketbook, but my mother said it was too ugly. So we don't get along like we used to. She's getting crazy. My brothers and I palled around mostly. All the guys down there thought I was in high school, I swear.
Ew.
Let me see that.
My father got it for me.
It's not your birthday until December.
He bought us all presents because he threw the dining room table against the wall one Sunday during breakfast. Everyone got real upset. Eggs went hanging off the wall.
He's nuts.
No, he's not.
Hey, did you see Wanda? She's got those cool cool aviator glasses on? She wears them just like Gloria Steinem.
Who?
The women's liver.
My father says they're crazy. Watch out if a girl becomes president.
How come?
Because she could get the curse in the middle of something and start World War III.
I'm glad we didn't get Lucy for homeroom. Do you think she'll recognize us?
How could you forget? Maria Rose says Aggie is great, though. She says Aggie's got 1 foot in the grave.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Steady, girl.
Sister, wash my hair, please.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Sister Mary Agnes. Didn't we do this already?
She forgets things. I think it's gotten worse.
Sister Mary Agnes.
We heard, Aggie.
Would 2 of you children come up here and pass these out? This will be a very big year for you 8th graders. We have a great deal to discuss. Now, this year you will be graduating.
Are we going to have a boy-girl dance?
In spite of that punch
I have
you
a
gave
dress all
spiked
picked
last
out.
year,
It's layaway. Wait till you see it.
there will be an 8th grade dance. Sister Mary Lucille will be handling the details. And we have to discuss the co-ops. Now, at my first dance, I had on the prettiest dress.
It was so long ago, she probably danced with a brontosaurus rex.
When are the co-ops, sister? That's our ticket out of here.
So, what did your mother do?
When? Do you like my hair like this?
Put it backward. When your father went nuts.
She just went into the kitchen and did the dishes.
I wouldn't take that.
Oh, me neither. I'm never getting married.
They might get a divorce.
What? Maria's parents might get a divorce.
God, don't announce it. I swear, I hope they do. Mind your own business and sound.
So, who would you go live with? Maria, you'd still be in high school with us, right? It would be awful if we couldn't all go to the same school. What about the open house at St. Mary's? What about the co-ops?
I'm not singing any hymns at that dance, sister.
She can't hear you. Watch this. Is she ever going to get to the co-ops?
Oh, look, dear, you dropped your books. Now, what was I saying? Rufus had such a good, strong voice. Didn't you, dear? Lead me, precious Jesus, for I am filled with...
Filled with what? Spit it out.
sin. Thank you, Rufus. Oh, and after we sang that hymn, I bent my head back and he kissed me. Right like that.
She actually made out with a guy?
What do you think she used to look like?
A dog.
Sister, have any of the other nuns made out with guys? What about Sister Mary Germain?
Another Bow Wow Club member.
Dear Sister Mary Germain was quite a looker in her day. I have seen pictures.
I'd love to get my hands on those negatives.
Sister, what happened to Rufus? Is he a priest or something?
He ditched her.
After high school, he enlisted in the army. He was blown up.
So you had to join the convent?
I didn't have to join the convent. I wanted to. I had another beau after Rufus. We used to stroll arm in arm around West Point.
Sometimes I don't think God knows what he's doing.
God always knows what he is doing, Loretta.
My name is Elizabeth.
She called you by your grandmother's name. She's spooky.
It's a good question.
She's a witch. A nun witch. I'll get that nose real close.
No questions? Good, let's move on.
Sister, I have a question. The co-ops?
The results come in the mail. The children just line up by that phone in the hallway, and the noise is, well, I tell them patience is a virtue, but you can't tell children anything these days. The co-ops are the entrance exams we must take if you want to get into Catholic high school. Did we do this already? When you're as old as I am, one year just bleeds into the next.
No, sister.
Thank you, dear. Now I will be teaching math and current events and something else. Well, don't worry, it'll come to me. You see, I'll be teaching English and science in the class across the hall.
I love Lucy.
Look at the way she spells co-ops. March 5th? I can't read her writing.
Dear, is there something wrong with your eyes? That says Blessed Sacrament High School. You really should get those bangs cut. What was your name again? Mary Alice?
Maria Teresa.
Well, Mary Thomas, don't you remember story about a young lady who had a hairdo she liked so much, I believe you would call it a beehive? How can you see from behind all that hair? Well, she never washed her hair because she didn't want to ruin it. After about 2 months, she went to the doctors and... Eugene, could you please stop shaking him? Thank you.
What happened to the girl with the beater?
Well, she went to the doctors and we found bugs all in her hair and they were eating her brains out. We all want to see your pretty face, don't we, dear?
Oh, we all want to see her pretty face, don't we, Eddie?
Drop dead. I think it's time to change classes, sister.
Thank you, dear. Let me check.
Sister, are you looking for something? Are you looking for your glasses?
No, I put them somewhere. Now, wait just one moment.
Sister, they're around your neck!
Oh, so they are. I put them there so I don't
Hysterical. Girl, we're dying. Let me out of here.
It's time to change classes. Would you like me to walk you?
No, sister, it's right across the hall.
Have a nice afternoon.
Thanks again.
Goodbye, Loretta.
I said my name's Elizabeth.
I need thee, precious Jesus, for I'm Rufus. There's something I've been meaning to tell you.
Wanda, did you ever show up at St. Mary's open house yesterday?
Yes, I was in the science lab for most of it. We had to dissect frogs in sophomore year. The science teacher showed me these little dead mice in jars. It was really neat.
Well, I didn't brown nose any teachers. I was in the cafeteria. You have got to check out that food. Every Wednesday, they have little fried chicken wings with gravy and lasagna.
Did you see the principal? She's real young. She doesn't even wear a habit. That place is perfect.
What if I don't get in?
You'll get in on the waiting list at least. Don't worry.
Sit down. How many times do I have to tell you I don't want to hear any stressing or laughing in that hallway? I will just sit back and see who gets into Catholic high school and who doesn't. I have left students back in the 8th grade, and I will do it again. Mind your P's and Q's. Now, business at hand. In 3 short weeks, the Archdiocese of New York will hold the 7th annual forensic tournament. 6 students have submitted speeches on the theme for this year, Outstanding Current World Leaders. Now, Mr. Farrell and Miss Howes, your work is not satisfactory. I want my class to capture the first prize trophy again this year, 4th year in a row. Mr. Mackenzie, your list, while I admire your determination, disqualifies you. Mr. Egan, selected works of Archbishop Fulton Sheen, approved and good luck. And finally, Wanda Sluska, the inaugural address of our late, great John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Wise choice, Miss Sluska. Between your elocution and style, Jack Kennedy's words, and my careful coaching, God will surely be on our side. The first prize is... Yes, Miss McHugh, what is it?
Sister, I submitted a speech. I was wondering...
I was coming to that, Miss McHugh. Patience is a virtue. Miss Sluska, good luck. Miss McHugh, I have rejected your speech.
Sister, it's under 8 minutes.
I have no quarrel with the length. Miss McHugh, it is the subject matter. In all good conscience, I cannot allow a student in my classroom to enter the 7th annual forensic tournament with the words of a non-Catholic.
But he was a Christian.
I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King Jr. Leave it to the public schools. Who exactly did Martin Luther King lead anyway? Miss McHugh, pick another speech from a Roman Catholic author this time. Perhaps you should look at the words of Pope John the 23rd, his work in the Ecumenical Council. No more Latin mass, guitars, dialogue with other faiths. It's right up your alley.
But I'm prepared. There's not enough time.
End of discussion. Now, we have 3.5 minutes to spend on the dance, no more, no less. You are very bold and brazen. Who do you think you are?
Nobody, sister?
Well, Miss Nobody, hand me that note. Miss McHugh, if you expect me to be shocked and annoyed with your behavior, you are going to have to do a lot better than this. Grow up, Miss McHugh, and find stronger ammunition if you want to tangle with me. Do you understand me?
Yes, sister.
Don't use that tone with me, young lady. Sluska, read that note.
I have to,
Don't
sister.
defy, sister. Read the note.
Sister Lucy plays bongo drums with Monsignor Ricardo.
Now, I would like you two to diagram this sentence for homework 100 times. As a matter of fact, the whole class can do it so no one else gets itchy fingers. Write that note on the blackboard, Miss Sluska.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
P.S. girls, not funny. The theme for the dance will be spring flowers. Now, as for the chaperones, stop that this instant or there won't be a dance. As for the chaperones, we will need 4 to handle this crowd. Maria Teresa, how about your father? He's a nice big beefy man and your sisters always brought him.
I think we'll be working nights then, sister.
I think he can get off for just one night, right, Miss Russo?
Yes, sister.
Miss Luska, we expect a cold cut donation from your father. A few rules for the dance. No Beatles music. You will not bring any of the filth that is running around outside this school via the dance. None of the long hair, the cigarettes, or those Brits from Liverpool who run around saying they are better than Jesus Christ. Also, it is semi-formal. That means, girls, no miniskirts and no long gowns.
But I just finished my last painting.
Please, girls, no fishnet stockings, no makeup, no jewelry, and perhaps some of those wrist-length white gloves. Boys, navy blue jackets, white shirts, and navy blue ties.
Believe it.
Well, you better believe it, or there won't be a dance. Now, boys and girls, you've heard a rumor about an incident that occurred in my classroom last year, that I took James Fowley's head and smashed it against the blackboard. This is not a rumor, this is a fact. That boy provoked me. That boy's parents marched right up to this school and walked through that very classroom door, and they thanked me. The same thing will happen to you if there is any sort of misconduct at that dance. No smoking, no drinking, and if there is any slow dancing, I want the couples at least an arm's length apart. That is enough room for you and the Holy Ghost. Have I made myself clear? Have I made myself clear?
Sister Mary Lucille.
Boys all squished up against the band. Nobody's gonna dance with us.
Well, if no one asks us to dance, we could just dance with each other.
Like a bunch of lesbos? If it wasn't for you, Elizabeth, we wouldn't have to wear these stupid uniforms.
Hey, Colleen. You were the one that carried it too far. I was just gonna put the bongo drums on the desk. You didn't have to play them like an ass in the bathroom.
Hey, look, here comes Eddie.
First comes love, second comes marriage, then comes Maria with a baby carriage. Hi, Eddie.
Oh, why sure, Eddie, I'd love to. Toodles.
A traitor.
I called dibs on Eddie. He was supposed to be mine. Just want to do something to her.
Sick your father on her.
Don't mention him.
Hey, Wanda. 5 o'clock shadow over there wants to know if you want to dance.
Francis.
That's what I said.
Not slowly answering this.
Oh, look, Maria.
Change my name. Call me Terry.
Hey, Terry. Your father's dancing with Lucy.
Arms length apart, sister. Perfect couple.
Hey, look, they're doing a bunny hop. Let's go, Maria.
Terry.
Come on, Eugene is. Hi, Eugene. He's calling us over. Let's go. He's calling you. You don't need a partner.
Just go, huh?
Put your arms around me, Eddie, and you better hop.
Oh, hi, Daddy. Get lost, huh? Having a great time. Just don't feel like dancing. I'm watching you. I'm not BSing. Don't curse around me, please. I'm not dancing because my legs are tired. No, I don't want to dance with you. No, it's not because you dance weird. No, it's not because you're fat. It's because of a guy I know. Which one? That one. Daddy, lower your voice. I don't want you to break his legs. Daddy, I gotta tell you something. I've always been afraid of you, and you've always been afraid of me. How come, huh? All right, I'll dance with you. Daddy, bash into Eddie every once in a while, okay?
Wanda, are you deaf?
Leave her, she's in love.
I guess so, Mrs. Francis Crawford. Ugh.
My parents went out on a date the other night to Carlos. Nope. And they haven't fought for 3 days straight. They decided to call the divorce off.
Oh, that's great, Maria.
I think she might be having another baby.
Your family multiplies like rabbits.
How rude. At least we multiply. What's the matter with your mother, huh? Only child Cola.
Hey, guys, shut up. After a week of scientific research in Yonkers Public Library, I have found this tidbit of information. Ready? The earnest Jewish piety of Jesus' home, the character of his parents, especially his mother, blah, blah, blah. All of this helps us to understand the profound religious development of the man Christ Jesus. The man Christ Jesus.
Let me see that. They don't even think Jesus was God?
Yeah, I know. And some people don't even think there is a God.
Well,
they're wrong, right?
Are you going to show this to your parents?
Nope, I'm copying this and 3 other things, and I'm going to send them to Sister Mary Lucille.
Are you crazy?
I may even deliver them personally, depending on her behavior.
When?
I'll know when the time is right.
Well, don't send it till after graduation.
You're taking your life into your hands.
Well, I am not.
Don't be too sure.
Quiet down. I can hear that ruckus all the way across the hallway. Sister Mary Agnes won't be in today.
Is she all right?
Did she die?
She fell on her way from the convent. I will be taking both classes for the day. Oh, does someone want to register a complaint? Fine, I didn't think so. Elizabeth McHugh, pack your things and get your things together. Now I will pass out these book reports. Mr. Joseph Ross, Johnny Tremaine, N.F. Mr. Ross, it is not sufficient to report on only one page of a book. The page where Johnny Tremaine gets his hand encased in silver may hold a fascination to you, but I fail to see it as the outstanding literary event of the 20th century. No, this won't do. Read the whole book. Wanda Sluska, Atlas Shrugged by Ian Rand.
It's Ayn Rand, sister.
Ian, see me after class, Miss Sluska.
I'm ready.
Class, if a girl refuses to learn her lessons time and time again, God has a way of making his displeasure known. Elizabeth, you continue to disobey my will, which is God's will, and as such he has sent you a personal message of disapproval that I have been entrusted to deliver. Sister Rose Gertrude received a call from your mother this morning, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but your grandmother passed away.
Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry.
Down in your seat.
Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was a Jew!
Shut it, young lady!
Jesus was a Jew, and I have facts to back it up.
Jesus really was a Jew. Read it, Wanda.
Jesus was the promised Messiah of Jewish expectation, that is the exalted semi-divine King of Israel.
Who gave you that
To
information?
come.
And Jesus may just be an ordinary old human, just a regular guy.
Mr. Reynolds, down in your seat or I will cut the legs from underneath you. Hand me that book, Sluska.
It was the Jerusalem hierarchy who put the officers of the Roman army put Jesus to death at the end. Catch Maria.
Jesus probably wasn't any good at math either.
Wait until the Pope hears about this.
Come on out here. I want to talk to you. It's me, Elizabeth. You can hide behind any statue in this place, but you better listen to me. I don't know if you know this, but after my grandmother moved in with us, everything was different. I would sit in my room after school. She would ask me questions about all sorts of things. And she would listen to my answer real close because she said that I was an important person. Some nights after we went to bed, I would hear her talking to my grandfather in the dark. If I made a noise, she would stop because it was private. One night, I saw that she was crying. I made some noise, and she stopped. Then she asked me if I remembered my grandfather. I did. She liked that. We fell asleep that night in her bed like sisters. Sundays were sort of strange. Nobody would give up eating bacon, and some of the smells made her feel sick. So my father would tell her if the smell of the bacon made her feel so sick, she should just take her eggs up to her room and wait until breakfast was over. I would help her shove towels in the crack under the door, but the smell got in anyway. Then my father would make me come back downstairs to eat with the rest of the family. I'd go, but I wouldn't eat that bacon. Sometimes after she was feeling better, we'd go for short walks. Then when she had rested, she would tell me stories about my mother and show me pictures she'd brought along that I'd never seen before. I didn't know why my mother was so sad. Neither did my grandmother. Anyway, one day my father came home from work and he said my grandmother would have to move back to the Bronx. He said it just wasn't working out and she needed more care. Besides, she was making the family crazy. I told him she wasn't making me crazy. I told him she let me be near her. He didn't understand that. Now I see that you didn't either. You took her from me, and I don't think that was fair. You're supposed to do the right thing all the time. I don't believe that anymore. You didn't let me finish. She doesn't know what I really think, and I was just about ready to tell her. You just like to punish people. You like to interrupt their lives. Why don't you just take my mother next time? Oh, you like to grab little kids, don't you? Just take one of my brothers, they're all baptized. Why don't you just take my whole stinking family in one shot? That would save you a lot of trouble. Not be some joke. I have something to tell you. It's a personal message. I'm delivering it myself. Don't you ever lay your hands on me. Because if I ever see you, I don't care. Go ahead, strike me down. Try. I will spit all over your face, whatever it looks like. Because you and everyone else in this world is one big pack of liars. And I really think I hate you. Something else? You don't exist.
We got burned.
How embarrassing. We'll never be through Sue's whole room like this. Elizabeth, you let everything fly right by.
Maria, you didn't do much better. Elizabeth, don't worry.
I'm nervous about the co-op results. You don't care about them, so what's your excuse, Tom?
Maria, don't bug me. Elizabeth, I beg you. Don't go to public school. Don't let Lucy ruin your life.
It's not her, it's him. You know, if you're a Catholic and you have something you like, he who? God.
Oh.
He finds out about it, and then he takes it away, just to punish you.
That's not true. God is going to let you get into St. Mary's.
No, he won't.
I agree with Elizabeth.
You do?
Yep. How come I'm always failing math, huh? Punishment.
For what?
I don't know.
Girls, your minds were not on the game. Score 40 to what?
40 to 14. Ask her.
Sister, the reason that we couldn't concentrate is because, well, the co-op admission slips are in the mail today. We were wondering if we could get out a little early to call our mothers.
Well, I don't know. You girls are always so noisy by that phone.
Sister, you have to. I'm going to kill myself if I have to wait until 3 o'clock.
I'll take names.
What a heart.
What was I looking for?
A phone.
Oh, no. Oh, a foot. Yes. Here is a rabbit's foot for each of you to hold on to while you are on the phone. Mary Stephen, you get 2. You're going to need them.
Slide out, sister.
Don't thank me. Thank Rufus. It was all his idea.
Thanks, Rufus.
Thanks, Rufus. Can we go, sister?
Yes, but be quiet by that phone.
Elizabeth, come on.
Get going, dear. Don't forget your rabbit's foot, Loretta.
They don't care about dumb old St. Mary's. They don't believe in magic.
What do you believe in, dear?
Facts. I think it's only fair to tell you that I am not a Catholic anymore. Sister, God hates me and I hate God. Sister Agnes, you're really nice for a nun and all, but you're all wrong about God.
Well, what do you mean?
God is just a killer. He killed my grandmother and he killed Rufus. You probably forgave him, but I never will. Never.
And that's up to you. Stay as angry as you'd like for as long as you want. But I have some news for you. God will never give up on you. And I don't think you could keep that heart of yours closed forever.
Don't bet on the sister.
Elizabeth, you forgot something.
What?
Your rabbit's foot, dear.
Stop pushing, will you? Don't you have any class?
Good luck, Eddie.
Who's gonna change for a quarter?
God. Glad you could make it, Elizabeth. I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to listen to her talking to Rufus or singing. Who first? Well, not me, that's for sure. Maria, you go first. Come on, dial. I'm dying.
Hello, Mom? Dad? Daddy, how come you're home from work? Nothing's wrong. I just wanted to call and see if the mail was there yet. Daddy, Dirty, let Mom get it. Please. They're fighting to see who gets to open it. Ma, hi, yeah, what does it say? I got in! Oh, yes, I'm real glad. No, tell him I'll talk to him later. Ma, there's other people waiting for the phone. Hi, Dad, yeah, I got in. I gotta go. I did it. I made it. Go ahead, Wanda.
Tak, mamo. Jestem bardzo podniecona. Ze świętej Maryi i świętego.
She doesn't show any
Zobaczenia.
expression. She probably got a scholarship.
Kocham cię. $500.
Hi, Mom, it's me. Me, Colleen. Oh, Brian, get off the extension. Oh, coughed in my ear. Freak. Well, did you get the mail yet? No, Mom, go get it. God, she didn't get the mail yet. Can you believe it? No, not Daddy's mail, my mail. Can't you be serious? Stop kidding around. Open it up. What does it say? Okay, bye. Oh, more school!
Which one are you going to?
St. Mary's, of course.
Our Father, who art in heaven,
Cut it out, Maria. It's already decided. Hi, Mom. Did you get the mail? Open it. You didn't? Bye, Mommy.
Oh, Elizabeth. Shit.
Just kidding, I got it! St. Mary's, here we go! So that's it, I guess. Except a couple of weeks ago, I was at a party. For some reason, I started sharing all these wild Catholic school stories. I hadn't thought about that part of my life in a long time, but all the memories came flooding back. We laughed for hours. Then, as I was leaving, someone I didn't know very well, a public school refugee, asked me what I thought about God now. I said I didn't think anything about him, except that maybe he wasn't a guy, and then left. When I got home, I had trouble sleeping. The tail end of Miracle on 34th Street was on. The little girl was in the back of the car with her eyes shut tight. She kept saying over and over again in the sweetest MGM voice, I believe, I believe, over and over. I turned it off. I pulled my blanket up and shut my eyes tight. I remembered how I used to believe in miracles. Falling asleep with some question in my mind. And that night, it seemed the whole process was beginning again, because I felt myself asking into the darkness a vaguely familiar question.
Are you there? Are you there?